before you know it, it's fair time. The Northwest Montana Fair and Rodeo is a pivotal moment for youth in 4-H and FFA, showing Livestock, who have spent months raising and training, hoping to enter the show ring as contenders and exit as champions. The show ring, surrounded by metal bleachers, is front and center of the Trade Center building during Fair Week at the Flathead County Fairgrounds. It is the stage where a range of emotions will be experienced: excitement and nervousness, exhaustion and gratitude, by the multitude of novice, junior, and senior competitors representing 4-H clubs throughout the Valley and Flathead FFA. Starting August 10th when Livestock arrived through the last day when kids said their goodbye to their market animals on August 17th, the Trade Center was a hub of activity. At the fair, Hillary and I caught up with the Brist siblings, Madison, Emma, Naomi, and Garrett. This year, they showed 22 animals in total: 5 sheep, 9 goats, and 8 calves. The Brist kids said it took 3 trailer loads of animals and 1 trailer of equipment to get everything to the fair. Before the animals are situated in their stalls, they go through inspections and weigh-ins to ensure they are in good health and meet weight requirements. The 4-Hers and FFA members have decorated the stalls with handmade posters or professionally printed banners, incorporating photos with their livestock, fun facts, and stats, such as the animal's name, breed, birth date, first weight, final weight, total gain, daily gain, breeder, and owner. In the ring, the kids put their game faces on, a focused gaze fixed on the judge while simultaneously guiding lambs, goats, and cattle around the ring using show sticks or halters. The judges stand back, observing the performance of how the youths handle and respond to their animals during both relaxed and tense moments when the animals become distracted or restless. Emma said she tries to keep calm before going in the ring, as her steer can sense the nervousness.
Emma, remind me of your cow's name.
This is Muffin.
Muffin's like, I can speak for myself.
That's so funny. How are you feeling today before you show?
I'm kind of nervous, but since nerves make the cows jittery, then I have to kind of calm myself so that he's calm too. But I'm also feeling pretty confident, I hope. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
Even with all the practicing and training and putting forward their best efforts, there are still uncontrollable factors like how an animal is feeling that given day. This year, for example, many competitors were posed with the challenge of showing steer, irritable, or tired from the heat or change in environment. Even seasoned competitors like Madison, who took it in stride.
So how did you feel it went?
It went pretty good. As we say, my dance partner in the show ring, he was a little bit tired and crabby from standing all morning and getting fit for the show, so he didn't really want to cooperate. But I'd say overall, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was a learning experience, and I'm glad that I get to do this.
Madison went on to place 6th overall among all the market steer competitors, with her steer Bagel. For the Goat Junior Showmanship competition, Judge Carly Hansen gave grand champion to Naomi and her goat Nutmeg.
There's no doubt in my mind that young lady wins this class pretty dang easy for me. She's very intense, very confident. The way that she presents goats is just really well. Beyond that, her industry knowledge and just knowledge about goats in general is very good. I asked each one of these kids if they could tell me about their projects. She probably was the most detailed in that sense, and then when I asked each one of them if they could take any other goat in this class, she gave me a really good answer, and I appreciate that about her. Very focused on the maternal traits in these dairy goats and just understanding udder placement and rear wall attachment and things of that nature. So I really appreciate that about her. She's doing a fantastic job. Give her a big round of applause.
Naomi celebrated alongside Garrett, who got 3rd place in the competition.
What were you guys thinking about out there when you were showing?
I don't know. I felt really confident about it. Nutmeg was doing awesome. This is my first year as my showmanship goat because I've had the same goat for the past 6 years. And so having a new one, and she just probably replaces the old one, and it's awesome for her. So.
Yeah. What do you think, Garrett? What were you focusing on?
I felt kind of nervous and like happy at the same time because it's Hershey's 2nd time, and I'm hoping to win for today, maybe.
Before they announced the winners, the judge spoke with each competitor, asking questions about their livestock project and providing feedback. The judge also provided the crowd with commentary on how each class of competitors fared overall and what went into the award decisions.
Every judge does a really good job about giving you feedback on what you should change or what you're doing good, and so you just learn and improve on different aspects that the judge is looking for, and every time I step into that ring, I learn something new.
The fruits of their labor are not traditional trophies, but prized belt buckles, which 4-Hers and FFA members wear with pride. Ribbons and banners are promptly displayed on the animal stalls. The Brist kids brought home both, earning grand and reserve champions in multiple categories and a multitude of blue ribbons. By Sunday morning, August 17th, the Trade Center activity had calmed down a bit. The Brist siblings are tired, but they sit down for a final interview in front of their goat stalls to recap the week's highlights. For Emma, it was winning reserve grand champion in junior sheep showmanship with her sheep Juanita and her sheep Snow, that ranked 3rd overall among the ewe born and bred entries.
The sheep you said they were difficult, aren't they?
They're hard for me.
Yeah.
I've never won anything in sheep showmanship. So this year I got 2nd place, or reserve champion as you would say, and that was new.
Wow. And why is it harder to show? Because they don't have the halters or anything?
Just because they're smart. They're smarter than steers. Steers are kind of dumb.
Oh, okay.
So they don't understand as much, but...
Naomi won reserve grand champion in junior sheep showmanship. Her market lamb Wesley ranked 12th overall among all the market lamb entries. Lone Lake Farm, the family farm, has roots in raising sheep. At one point, roughly 500 roamed the pastures. The cattle competitions were a highlight for Garrett, who showed a steer for the first time.
I got my first banner for showing a calf, not a sheep.
What'd you get?
4th overall showmanship
And
junior novice.
Junior novice.
Emma and Naomi took the top spots in purebred breeding females with their heifers Cherry and Rosie. Emma won grand champion and Naomi reserve grand champion. Overall, in junior beef showmanship and purebred breeding female, Naomi ranked 3rd among all of the competitors. Emma had the grand champion junior doe Sapphire and Garrett the reserve junior doe champion Hershey. Garrett and Hershey also ranked 3rd overall in junior goat showmanship. Emma had the grand champion junior doe Sapphire and Garrett the reserve junior doe champion Hershey. In senior goat breeding interviews, Madison was the grand champion and Emma reserve grand champion. All of the projects are a financial investment, and there is an administrative side to 4-H and FFA livestock projects. The children track expenses along with their animals' health on a monthly basis. The livestock sales where many FFA and 4-H members look to make a small profit, or at least at minimum break even with the cost that went into raising the market animal.
this year was
That's
a
always
good
the
year.
goal. Mom and Dad said as long as you break even on your projects, that's
And the other cool thing was that the same person bought all 4 of our animals.
yeah. Shelling a construction. He's kind of like a family.
Schellinger construction?
Yeah.
Naomi in particular was an outlier this year when her market lamb fetched about $20 a pound at the livestock sale. Last year, her market lamb sold for about $12 a pound. The market livestock is often purchased by businesses around the valley that support the youth's endeavors. Prior to the sale, the kids are encouraged to visit businesses to generate interest and participation. Typically, all or a portion of the profits are reinvested in next year's livestock project. Last year, for example, Naomi purchased a lamb from a fancy breeder for roughly $1,300 and ultimately spent more than $1,400 after expenses, which she didn't recoup at the livestock sale. This is why the Brist decided to take the plunge and purchase a ram and ewe to breed for about $800. Breeding their heifers is also starting to pay off. Madison said she's bought a heifer every year since she started showing animals, and now she has 5 calves to sell and can make about $1,000 off each. The Brist siblings also help harvest hay on the farm, which is used to feed their animals while a portion of it is sold. When the projects pay out, they have some freedom to buy the things they've been eyeing, like a dirt bike or an iPad or new boots, but for the most part, they encourage reinvesting into the project. The fair isn't over until the evening when the cycle of life comes full circle for 4-H and FFA members raising their market animals. While they can only sell one market animal at the livestock sale, goats are not among them. The Brist looked to other avenues to cull their growing herd and sold more than a dozen as packing animals. And the family is happy knowing they'll be out there somewhere hitting the trails. Madison said one of the toughest parts of the fair is seeing the empty stalls and loading the animals onto the trailer for slaughter, especially for the younger kids. The older Brist siblings have gone through the experience for several years. To be completely detached is nearly impossible, according to Emma, and her sisters agreed.
It's hard every year. Some people say that for them it gets easier, but I have never had an easy year.
A soft spot remains for the animals they've spent months closely caring for, even the difficult animals.
I guess is it kind of a double-edged sword to have to build that bond and handling the animal, and then is it kind of a different relationship if you're just raising livestock?
Yes, I would say yes, very much, because you're going out there every morning, every night, sometimes in the middle of the day, sometimes like 5 times a day you're spending with that animal. It's almost like they're just like your best friend, and
It's near impossible to not build.
yeah, near impossible to not build upon, because you learn their personality, you learn their favorite things, and you just become best friends.
Knowing they're raising animals for meat is a bittersweet experience.
I keep joking I need to quit because of how hard it is to let them go, but it is well worth it to do it, because it teaches you more about the animals, and it gives you more respect for them, because the longer you know the animal, the more human-like they seem in your mind.
Madison said she's grateful for the chance to give market animals a life typical commercial livestock doesn't get to experience.
I like it because I know like if these steers, we send our steers off in the fall to a feedlot, and it's like I got to keep this one back, and he gets to have like the most special life ever, because he does get the special treatment, he gets a longer life, he gets better care, and I'm just giving him a little piece of like the best life ever, and I gave him all that he really needed.
However, it's still difficult to say goodbye.
You just remember every once in a while, like little snippets of like what it was like when you had that steer, or like this year, my steer just has the sweetest personality that I've ever had in a steer, and he's like so dumb and so sweet that I'm just gonna miss him to pieces. And like you always carry a little piece of that animal with you, and then you like see them in the next year's animal. And I think the hardest part for me, like yesterday and today, is walking around the fair and seeing like the little crying kids in like an empty pen. It's the worst thing, because like I might not be crying about my steer yet, but I'm crying about like all these empty pens with these little kids, and I'm just crying, and the little kids crying, walking away from the trailer.
Before the fair officially closes, plans for next year's projects have already started, like heading down to the Northern International Livestock Exposition in Billings this fall.
And then we might go down to Nile and maybe purchase a few more Red Angus heifers. Dad was hinting at it. And if Dad's okay with it, then.
For Madison, next year will be the Flathead High School seniors' last showing at the Northwest Montana Fair before she ages out.
My goal is to do better than this year. I did do really good this year, but my goal is to just step it up a little notch, because it's my senior year, go out with a bang.
This has been the Daily Interlakes journey with the Brist family as they raise their livestock projects for 4-H and FFA. A special thanks to Tess and Rob, and of course the kids, Madison, Emma, Naomi, and Garrett, for letting us spend some time to learn more about this true labor of love.
This is Jordan Van of Van Law Firm. At Van Law, we understand how life can change in an instant. Whether you've been affected by a fire, an accident, or any other disaster, you don't have to go through it alone. We're here to help victims rebuild and recover, from personal injuries to property damage and financial struggles. Your rights matter, and we're ready to fight for the compensation you deserve. If you've been injured or affected, we'll work tirelessly to address your medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Our experienced office will guide you every step of the way. Reach out to Van Law today for a free consultation. Call us now at 406-VAN-LAW. That is 406-826-6529. Or you can find us online at vanlawfirm.com. Van Law. When it feels like everything is lost, we'll help you find your way forward.